Welcome back to the Abundance Alchemist, your quiet space to remember who you are. Tonight we speak gently about returning to the rhythm of quiet abundance, not as a lesson to learn, but as something your soul already carries. Let your eyes get heavy in the dark. The world can wait for your softness. Your body is safe to settle here. What if you've never truly been broken? What if your softness was always your power? What if this ache has always been an invitation? Let the breath fall however it wants. There's nothing to hold together now, nothing to fix or force. Sometimes the world around you calls for noise, for speed, for showing and proving, but here, there's room for the quieter song, the hum beneath all wanting. All effort, the rhythm that remembers you without asking you to be loud. There's a way of being that lives below all trying, a kind of plenty that doesn't rush or reach. You don't have to be anyone else in this space. The part of you that longs to rest, that aches to let go, it belongs here, too. Even this is part of the remembering. Let your thoughts dissolve into hush if you listen close, the old story, the one that says you have to become, to earn, to perform. It begins to soften at the edges. There's always been a quieter rhythm underneath it all, carrying every moment, every version of you. It's gentle. It waits for you to return. It's okay now. You don't have to strive by moonlight. There's nothing keeping score here. Every part of you, the tiredness, the hope, the not knowing, is welcome to rest. It's safe now. Loose corners in your mind can unwind. The jaw, the back, the hands, let them grow heavy with relief. Each breath a small homecoming, a signal to your nervous system. Release. You are not late, not lacking, never exiled from the abundance you already hold. Tonight is an invitation to let the world's volume dim, so you can hear what is steady inside you. Let this echo. What rises for you in stillness is not lack, but longing to remember. Every time you return to quiet, something infinite stirs, waiting for you. You don't need to hold it. Here. It's in the hush. Even your wanting is a map back to what you've always had. Not every morning asks for movement. Some mornings invite you to rest in that soft hush, the space just before everything stirs, when the world is still wrapped in a gray-blue veil, and you can almost hear your own pulse. Gentle and patient, waiting for nothing at all. It's strange, maybe, how these quiet hours hold a kind of abundance you can't measure, not in the ways the world usually counts or trades. Sometimes the richest hours are the ones where nothing seems to happen. You're just there, breathing. Between this moment and the next, like dew on the grass, not needing to become rain, just settling into being. Your mind might still want to fill the silence with reminders, worries, to-dos spinning like distant winds beyond closed windows. But your body feels the thick peace here. The kind that comes before the sun names anything. Let it soften here. You might remember mornings like this, stirring before dawn, not out of duty, but from a sense that life was nudging you quietly. Asking nothing, just noticing. There's nothing missing in this stillness. There's nothing you must find, prove, or earn. The ache you sometimes carry, that longing for more, softens a little in the hush, like a child held close in cool sheets. Even now, you're held. Maybe you were taught that abundance arrives only with action, that you must rise quickly, be ready, earn your breath as soon as you wake. But peace was always wealth. The stillness before the world acts is a kind of fullness, not an empty space to fill. You can feel it in the way the cool air settles against your skin, in the deep quiet that holds all your old stories without judgment or rush. Even if you drift, this still lands. It's a strange thing. And to wake up and not reach for achievement, to wake simply to yourself, like the way lake water shivers just before the sun starts its slow climb. There's a kind of reverence in this slow, silver hour when nothing asks. And nothing demands, and you belong to no one but your own breath. You don't have to use this time well. It's already enough just to be in it, somewhere. The birds are deciding when to sing, the air waits. Thick with unseen possibility, the earth is patient. She does not demand fruit before the roots are ready. Abundance listens in the stillness, hearing you. Answering in a language older than words, you can let your shoulders fall. There's no race here. The old loop of rushing, proving, scrambling for more can pause with you here. Before the clock means anything, you might feel the old pattern tugging at your edge, that urgency to measure your worth by what you'll accomplish when the sun rises. But under that, deeper, is a remembering the morning isn't a test. Even this is part of the remembering. Close your eyes to the world's agenda and listen for the quieter voice underneath, the one inside your chest, humming with ancient yes. You've never needed to earn gentleness, not from the world, not from yourself, the softness you wake up with. The one you sometimes push away is the beginning of new abundance. You've always had permission. Even when you forgot, let it echo. If you find your mind wandering, making lists, adding pressure, reaching for proof that you deserve stillness, notice if you can let those thoughts hover, uncollected like mist. You can stay soft here. Nothing asks you to harden. Some mornings, the most abundant thing is the thin, weightless quiet, like a field before harvest, content to wait, or like moonlit water, reflecting nothing but itself. You're not behind. Never have been. It's safe now. There's a beauty in laying still, before anything begins, in realizing that you are not an unfinished project, not a problem for morning light to solve. You can simply be like new sky, like untouched sand, like hands open to whatever comes. Let this echo in this space before the day decides for you. You are allowed all your tenderness, the deep rest, the stretch, the unhurried knowing that nothing truly precious can be rushed, like winter bulbs asleep beneath dark soil, like tides moving unseen, like a heart quietly beating, patient for joy, even if the world asks for action soon. This space remains in you, unchanged, undiminished. You can return at any point to this stillness and find it fresh. Even this is abundance. There's a soft ache that rises sometimes, just as dusk comes to the garden path. You can feel it waiting, warm as summer ground beneath bare feet. This ache, it doesn't shout or clamor for attention. It waits patiently, like wild violets on the edge of the stones, familiar, almost tender, reminding you that something in you has always longed for more. Not the kind of more measured in numbers or the clatter of busy minds, but the kind that feels like breath, wide, gentle, silent, and sure. You walk on, pausing sometimes to notice how the ivy stretches its arms along old brick, never wrestling, never doubting if it's worthy of reaching. It simply exists, and that is enough for its growth. Some part of you remembers this, even when the mind forgets. Are you meant to try so hard, or is your becoming as simple as the green things climbing quietly toward the sun? There is an old loop, the belief that every inch of your expansion must be earned with effort, with striving, with proof. It echoes in the memories, childhood rooms heavy with expectation, the hush of midnight hoping you'd finally done enough to rest. Out here on the garden path, those echoes don't seem so loud. In this easier air, the only proof asked of you is to breathe in, breathe out, and notice you're still here. Let it soften here. You remember the way rain falls, not by will, not by planning, but because it is time. effortless but not empty, present but not demanding. This is the way the world expands, always, whispering that there are seasons when holding less is the truest kind of wisdom, and even your longing isn't a mistake, it's a part of the blooming. There is safety in this noticing. You do not have to bend yourself until you break, or chase worth like a shadow you can't catch. Listen for the wind now, moving without apology through the trees, how it leaves space for every branch, never forcing, never shrinking back. The garden path is not a race, and there is no finish line. Just the next green leaf, the next widening sky, the next return to softness. You don't need to hold it. There is an older desire nestled beneath the striving, the desire to belong. Not just to others, but to yourself, to this world, to this moment of gentle expansion. The garden teaches it if you listen. Everything growing here belongs simply by being. Even what the world calls weeds is only a plant finding a place to root. There is a lesson in this, one that wants to settle somewhere deep, but is soft enough not to push. You are always enough to blossom, never required to be anything other than completely, quietly, truly you. Let this echo. It is okay to notice the fear as you walk, fear that if you stop reaching, something essential will dissolve. But just look at the climbing roses, how their thorns do not keep them from making new buds. The fear is a history, not a prophecy. It's a memory of old soil, a night when the frost chased everything inward. Expansion happens anyway, as natural as night falling and the dew rising in the dark. Even if you drift, this still lands. The ache, the desire, the fear, and the old beliefs, they all walk with you, but they do not steer. Tonight, the only direction is forward, and the only pace is your own. Let your breath match the rhythm of a world that grows without hurry. Inhale the memory of warm sun on your face. Exhale the tightness that once made everything feel so small. In the garden, nothing is rushed. Even the seeds take their time. Let it soften here. Notice too how memory lingers, moments when you believed you had to hide your tenderness, protect your hope, armor your heart. Let those memories rest beside the hostas and the midnight aloes. They have done their job. They tried to keep you safe. But now the garden teaches a new safety, one where presence is all you need to claim. Notice the way tiny shoots seek light under the fallen leaves, not asking for permission, not begging for space. Even this is part of the remembering. You may still hear the old loop, urging you to earn each breath, each step forward. But listen closer underneath. There's the hum of bees, the low chorus of dusk, the quiet truth rising from the soil. Expansion does not ask you to betray your softness or abandon your vulnerability. It asks for your willingness to be here now, unfolding, just as you are. Let this echo, if you notice the ache returning, lean into it. Let it be a sign, not of brokenness, but of the part of you that still believes in more. It's like moonlight following you around the bend. This longing is allowed. You don't have to hold it all at once. Just let the garden show you. Every living thing opens in its own way, in its own time, with no one watching, no one keeping score. Let it soften here. The path is both old and new each time you walk it. There are places you return to in memory, unsure if you've changed at all. But look, the roots below you are making room, quietly moving stones, breaking new ground where no one else can see. You are making space for your own expansion, even when you think you're standing still. Even if you drift, this still lands, breathe, and imagine the air thick with jasmine and memory. There is nothing you have to prove tonight. There is nothing you have to become apart from what already pulses through you. The garden does not demand that you bloom on command. Its only request is that you remain open to the sun and the softness and the wide ache of possibility. Let it soften here. You carry the lesson quietly now, without force, without rush, without explanation. You move along the path, a companion to your longing, to your old doubts, to the small voice that keeps whispering. It is safe to open, it is safe to rest, it is safe to expand. This, too, is part of the remembering. There's a place in you that remembers holding both dust and coins in the same hand, watching sunlight turn each to gold, then to shadow, and noticing how easily they slip through your fingers anyway. Sometimes you try to grip tighter, thinking maybe if you just clench your fist, hold a little longer, you'll have enough, just enough. But money was never meant to be clung to any more than dust or breath or the slow turning of the tide. Sometimes you forget you're allowed to let go. Let it soften here. You might notice when you count what you have, something old flickers behind your eyes, a memory older than your name. The world told you coins would keep you safe, so you counted and you saved and you stacked, thinking the numbers could wrap you in shelter, keep storms away. But safety built on counting doesn't last through the night. When the mind quiets, the ache remembers. Even this is part of the remembering. Desire whispers in the language of form. You want the house, the meal, the touch, the sense of being okay. As if okay-ness was something in the bank, not the marrow of your own ribcage. Desire is not wrong. It's just hungry to come home to you. Still, sometimes desire knots itself into fear. Fear that if you stop chasing the form, you'll lose the magic. Fear that if you don't gather, you'll miss your share. And so you gather, and you spend, and you hold your breath in the checkout line, pretending you're not bracing for what the numbers say about your worth. Underneath, a quieter truth. Worth was never up for negotiation. Let this echo. Old loops reappear when you feel small, when money feels far, when the universe goes quiet, and you wonder if maybe you've been left out. Maybe the universe favors others while you count dust and coins. These are ancient echoes, roots sunk deep before your own story began. Maybe it was your parents' story, or their parents', or the ache of a village after the harvest was thin. The body remembers stories it never lived, carries scarcity like a weather pattern, like humidity that sticks even after the rain is gone. You wake at night with the same old question, will there be enough? Inside that question, 1,000 hearts before you asking the same. You are not alone in it. Even if you drift, this still lands. There's a longing to wake up free. For money to be gentle, uncharged, a tool, not a test. You trace the patterns, want, shame, spend, regret. You wish it could dissolve. Just once you want to hold a coin and feel nothing but a kind of peace, a softness, a hush. You wonder how that would change you. Would you stop striving? Would you forget your own ambition? Or would you finally move from desire, not lack? It can feel dangerous, like letting go of an old friend, even if that friend was pain. It's safe now. Sometimes you picture the dust, how it settles quietly in corners, how it catches the light just so. No one grieves for dust. No one judges its falling away. It just circles in air, lands where it will, and with time renews what it touches. Money is shaped from dust anyway. Nothing made it sacred but our longing. If you look close, both dust and coins glint for a moment, then go dull. If you let go of what they mean about you, you remember you are older than both. Let it soften here. Rain comes and goes. Grass grows green, then gold, then green again. The earth sighs and lets every season pass through. Money wants to be like rain, falling where it's invited, nourishing what is ready. It can be that easy. The ache is the part of you still gripping the dry season, believing you are the weather, but you are not the weather. You are the whole field, dust and coin and root and bloom. You can weather any storm because you do not end when the rain stops. You begin. You don't need to hold it. There will be days when numbers rise and it feels like sun on your face. Days when numbers fall and it chills you. But sun and chill both pass. Only the ground remains waiting for you, arms wide. When the ache comes, when desire or fear or old patterns tighten your chest, let yourself breathe out. Let the dust of former stories settle. Hold a coin up to the light, watch it catch a bit of sun, remember. It is neither curse nor cure. It is simply a shape like any other. Even this is part of the remembering. Some mornings begin with a soft, chill light just finding the edge of the window, and the world still paused. You step outside, basket in hand, dew clinging to the grass. There's a rhythm that unfolds on its own. The chickens blink and shuffle, feathers rustling like a lullaby. Not hurried by any clock you can see, the chickens move as if time is a friend who never pushes them along. They peck, they pause, they sometimes look right at you, almost amused somehow by your quieter hope. It is simple here, and the air smells of worn straw, damp earth, the sky promising a steady day. Most days, the basket grows heavy with eggs warm from the nest. Some days it is empty, but even empty, the basket feels real in your hands, woven and holding the shape of what could be. Standing there, you wonder, what am I when I return with nothing? Is this proof of lack or just a gentle space, another kind of offering? Let it soften here, that old ache, the one that tugs when you think of wasted hours or days with nothing to show. It sits with you, silent under the morning light. Maybe you learned long ago that only the full basket counts, that only proof could make you enough. But see the chickens, untroubled by totals or empty hands. A day without eggs, a sleepy shrug. Their life is not measured in outputs. Their worth is never at risk. Even if you drift, this still lands. You might remember a parent or teacher frowning over an empty page, a project undone. You might feel the old story looping. That rest is abandonment. That emptiness means you failed to arrive, but the field is still here. The coop is still home. The rhythm continues, no punishment in its pauses. The birds wander, content in their slow unfolding. It's safe now, sometimes. You return inside with a basket emptier than you'd hoped. Maybe you want to hide it, or fill it with something else so no one sees the space inside. But there is a dignity in honest emptiness, a grace in what simply is. Let this echo, your own days unfold in this way too. Not every effort bursts into something to show. Some seeds rest below the surface, unseen except by the deepest part of you. Even the softest mornings count, the waiting, the gentle tending, the quietness between dreams. You don't need to hold it. If a basket returns empty, it isn't proof you are lacking. It's a vessel still woven, still held, still home for what may come tomorrow. Not all fullness is seen, not every rhythm announces itself. The chickens keep living soft, generous enough with or without the eggs, with or without the proof. Even this is part of the remembering. Sometimes trust is just allowing the road to carry you, even when you have no map in your hands, relaxing into that quiet hum under your skin, as if each mile means nothing and everything at once. Your heart might wonder if you're meant to do more, to know more, to grip the wheel tighter. But tonight, it's different. Tonight you're the passenger in your own becoming, the world unfolding as softly as breath on a window. It matters because everywhere you've hurried, every story that says you need a final destination rests here with you. In stillness, in not knowing, something inside unwinds and believes its own goodness again. Like headlights tracing a backroad curve that doesn't care where it leads. Like music drifting from houses you're passing but never entering. Like the soft drift of clouds you spot through the windshield, moving whether or not you notice. Let it soften here. There's a freedom that rises from doing nothing for a reason, just letting hands go slack, letting the engine's low purr become the background music of your surrender. You can feel how life moves you, even when you're not steering. It matters because sometimes the richest parts of you, the ones you forgot, are found exactly when you drop the old urge to arrive. Like rolling down your window just to taste night air, like watching the headlights flicker on lonely fence posts, like trusting the turn you almost missed, and choosing not to circle back even if you drift. This still lands. Unoccupied motion can feel empty until you remember it's also playful, wrapped in permission and the absence of force. It matters because letting life flow through you with no fixed point is proof that safety isn't in the path, but in the act of moving at all. Like a stream that changes course each spring and never apologizes. Like the feeling of driving past familiar exits and realizing you no longer crave where they used to lead. Like laughter in the dark, sudden and unprovoked. You don't need to hold it. Ease, directionless and quiet, is sometimes the bravest way of saying yes to your own gentleness. It matters because the world trained you to look for goals and proof, yet your wholeness waits at the edge of unimportant destinations. Like a garden that grew without being watched, like the way water knows where to flow, like a prayer you didn't know you were praying. Even this is part of the remembering. In the quiet of your heart, there is always a tiny sanctuary, a kind of corner shrine, shaped by longing and steadied by the smallest acts of hope, whether you're aware of it or not. It's been built from the moments you offered yourself back to life, in silence and in softness. This is where sacred offering begins, not in the grand gestures, but as a quiet turning inward, an invisible yes. Uttered in the dark when no one is watching, sometimes the offering is just this. Letting your guard slip for a breath. That matters because each time the armor falls, even for a second, your spirit realigns with what's real, like the body finding a familiar song after all the noise has faded, like a lamp left in a window for someone still out in the cold, like a childhood treasure you find tucked in the back of a drawer. Still safe. Let it soften here. There's another truth, simple and patient. Every sacred offering is an act of self-remembrance. You might think it's about giving something up, but really, it's about returning to something original inside you. That matters because sometimes forgetting was the only way you could protect your tenderness for a while. Like a stream quietly carving a path beneath the ice, like a note you write to yourself and hide in an old jacket for later, like the gentle hum of streetlights after midnight when everything else is asleep. Even this is part of the remembering. Let this echo. When you offer even the littlest thing from your heart, you rearrange the patterns of your own inner weather. The past can sometimes feel like a pattern written in stone, and yet a soft intention can make new room to breathe. That's why it matters, because when you release the smallest kindness into the world, you reshape how you carry yourself inside, too, like the air after rain. Clean and forgiving, like closing your eyes and realizing you're still safe, like a door that always opens the same way. No matter how many times you return, you don't need to hold it. The quietest offerings often go unseen, but their energy lingers, shaping everything that comes next. This is how alignment quietly builds itself inside you, without ceremony, without needing proof. It matters because it seeds trust in yourself, even when you're not sure what you believe anymore, like the comfort of a worn-in sweater at the end of a long day, like the hush of autumn leaves landing outside your window, like the breath you didn't know you were holding. Finally let go. It's safe now. You are the keeper of this unseen altar. There's no right way to offer, no rule book to follow in the dark. It's enough that you come home to yourself, again and again, putting whatever you can, no matter how small, on the corner shrine at the heart of your being. Every time you do, you shift the meaning of abundance. Less about what you have, more about what you're willing to remember and give, like a garden tending itself through the seasons, like the first piece of sunlight on your pillow in the morning, like the soft sound your own name makes when spoken with care. Let this echo. You don't need to get it perfect. You don't have to make it big. The universe hears you, one sacred offering at a time. Even now, as you lie here, you are offering your presence, your vulnerability, your quiet hope. And that is the truest kind of realignment there is. Even this is part of the remembering. There is a part of you that already knows how to carry hurt without letting it define you, that inner place where pain is noticed, held, but not allowed to become the only story in the room. It's small, sometimes, the voice that says, "This isn't all you are." This matters because your softness is not weakness. It's a remembering, a way to keep breathing, even when the world tries to speed past your healing, like the way morning sunlight crawls lazy across your bed, hardly in a rush. Though the day is already moving on, like a piece of fabric folded, never thrown away, always kept close, even when no one sees, like the echo of laughter at dusk, fading but never gone, lingering on the edges. A reminder that warmth is not lost, just quieter tonight. You don't need to hold it. Sometimes, healing looks like letting the ache breathe. A truth, nothing inside you has to be rushed. Safety is not something you earn through speed or productivity. It matters because your body, the oldest memory keeper, finds relief in permission. The chance to lay down urgency and watch the sun set without needing to chase anything. Like leaves falling in their own time, never wondering if they've done enough, like the slow thaw of winter ground, where new things grow unseen, patient and gentle, like a child tracing their finger through the dust, making meaning without knowing they're making art. Let this echo. The wound can exist and still, there is a wholeness that refuses to leave you. Here you are allowed to slow down, to tend the places that feel raw, without hiding them or pretending they don't ache. This matters because the part of you that lingers is the part that loves, slow, thorough, honest. It's the proof that you are not a machine, the proof that rest is sacred, not optional, like a garden that grew despite being forgotten for a season, like the pause between lightning and thunder, where everything holds its breath, like an old song humming quiet in another room, found again when you need it most. Even this is part of the remembering. Being with your wound, without needing to fix or fly, creates space for new stories to root. This truth matters because with every slow fold, every gentle tending, you remind yourself that your value is not in your perfection, but in your willingness to stay present. In the forgiveness of your own pace, you breathe fresh air into places hidden from light. Like the hush that falls when heavy rain finally stops, like the soft belly of a cat rising and falling in trust, like the moon rippling on water, never trying to hurry its reflection. It's safe now. You are bigger than your wound. Your soul is the space around it, the hands that fold it closed, the softness that wraps fear until it becomes something quieter. This is remembering, not a prescription, not a command, but a slow, sacred homecoming back to yourself, just as you are right here, right now. Let this be enough. There's a hush inside, where old words gather, the ones you almost said, but let fall asleep on the pagey fragments of honesty that floated in your chest and never needed to find anyone else's hands. Sometimes you wonder what would have changed if you'd emptied every quiet ache onto paper, sent your truth to shake the corners of someone else's night. But that soft urge to spill yourself, it wasn't always asking for reply. Sometimes it was the soul's way of circling home, a gentle movement back into the one place that understands you completely, even when unspoken. There is no urgency here, no timelines, no closed doors. Only hush, only the steady pulse of what you hold and what you let go. It's safe to notice which stories in you keep writing letters that never travel, which memories still wait, daydreaming on their unsent wings. You don't need to fix what you meant or send anything out to prove you're whole. Even this ache, this wanting, is part of the remembering. Let this echo, you breathe, and the universe rearranges itself for every sigh, every hidden word, every confession kept close like a garden growing wild and unseen. Sometimes the most powerful proof of your worth are the words you needed only for yourself. Like a night wind, you can let the unsent letters float through the dark, gentle, invisible, forming a bridge only you can cross. The silence you share with your own heart can be the richest abundance, the clearest sound. No one else needs to understand every letter for it to be real. Let it soften here. It's okay that some truths never left your lips. The body remembers the message. The self is still witness. You do not need to become louder or braver or brighter to matter. The expression resting behind your ribs is already a frequency of wealth. You wake in the morning sometimes with words still growing in you, letters that shape your worth from the inside, petals opening in the half-light, never needing the sun to prove they bloomed. Even this is part of the remembering. It's safe to rest, knowing that some things never spoken shape your world more deeply than anything shouted to the sky. You don't need to remember this by morning. Your body already has. Close your eyes and let yourself become weightless. Notice the quiet room around you. See yourself in a gentle space, where morning is soft and golden, where someone who loves you sits nearby in silent welcome, their presence gentle and true. In this moment, there is nothing but the sound of water warming, a faint hum in the background of all you are. You feel the smooth surface of the teapot in your hands. It's warm, reassuring, as if it holds every gentle morning that has ever opened the world. The cup before you waits, empty, patient, as soft rays catch the rim. When you pour, the stream is unbroken, liquid gold tracing a slow arc, lifting steam to dance in the gentle air. The sound is steady, a washing note that grounds you in presence, slow and unrushed, as though time itself wants to linger and listen. Each drop greets the cup with softness, a tiny, repeating thrum. You watch the surface rise, never rushing, never lacking, always enough. It all repeats. The warmth, the pour, the sound of water meeting porcelain. It shows you how ordinary moments carry something ancient, that the act of pouring is a ritual of trust, a promise that there is enough and more comes as you receive. Breathe in slow. Let this echo now. Hear these words. I am held by every gentle morning. I am held by every gentle morning. My presence is enough, even in stillness. My presence is enough, even in stillness. Abundance flows to me. Softly and true, abundance flows to me. Softly and true. Receiving is what I was born to do. Receiving is what I was born to do. There is always enough for me. There is always enough for me. I trust my own timing. I trust the long pour. I trust my own timing. I trust the long pour. Let this echo now. Let your heart remember. Receiving is safe. Receiving is safe. Receiving is safe. Moonlight drapes over everything tonight, silvering the small corners of memory that once felt too dark to look at directly. There is a quiet book inside you, a private accounting. Lines inked with every choice and story you've held about money, worth, and enough. Some of these stories were written before you ever spoke a desire out loud. They came from voices that didn't know your softness was gold. That your way was never meant to be scarcity's story. There's a ledger, yes, but much of it is moonlight now. What once felt like cold numbers, debts, and lack softens page by page under this silver light sometimes. The old stories return with the hush of midnight. Did I do enough? Am I allowed to receive? Will there be enough when morning comes? But moonlight keeps gentle company with those questions. It glances off closed eyes and says, even here. You are not lessened by what you have kept, spent, or lost. It's safe now. Memory holds more than numbers in the hush between heartbeats. There are truths you can feel but might never name. The tiny gifts you traded with friends. The way a stranger's kindness felt like currency. The quiet pride of making something from little. What if the moonlight ledger is rewriting itself every night? What if every breath is a new entry, and every exhale is an old story set down for good? Let this echo, in this gentle accounting. Nothing is wasted. Regret loses its sharpness. The old chapters withdraw into the distance. Until all that remains is the warmth of knowing you were always enough. There are places between waking and sleeping where you can quietly erase what doesn't serve, where you can let the old ledgers burn themselves out like candles at dawn. Even this is part of the remembering. Sometimes it's just the small, secret permission to let go. Sometimes you rewrite an entire life by turning over one line, one memory, one night at a time. The gold you are seeking is not somewhere outside, not in the bank, the balance, the calculations, but gently folded within the stories you choose to keep alive as you drift toward morning. Let it soften here. Because every time you rest, every time you let the ledger lie open in the dark, every time you trust yourself to do less, to need less, to be held without needing to earn it, the numbers flicker and fade, and something truer shines through. You don't need to hold it. The moon smiles on your oldest stories tonight and lets them sleep too. What matters is not what was tallied, but what gets illuminated now. The gold is not only wealth, it is release, it is wholeness, it is the space made by forgiving the arithmetic of lack. Let the abundance find you, slowly, as softly as moonlight itself. Let rest be the way home, your softest wealth. Night takes its gentle breath now, and everything that was loud in the daylight finds a softer edge. In this secret place there is nothing to force, nothing to hold tightly, nothing to fix. The sky darkens, the windows close their golden eyes. One by one, the stories of striving hush themselves. There is only this. A slow, restful presence, a truth that does not need to be spoken to be felt. Shadows curl along the walls, not to hide you, not to scare you, but to keep you company while you let go. Every line from an old day, every open loop you've carried, settles with you here. Night does not ask for answers. Night blesses what is unresolved, just as it is. Let it soften here. You feel the hush ripple at the edges of your mind. It's as if every thought has permission to unravel, every question can return home. You sense, deep below waking thought, that nothing important is truly unclosed. Even what aches to be finished, even what was left unsaid, exists inside a larger mercy, a truth that holds you, whether or not you remember the details by morning. It's safe now. Tonight, your heart won't be rushed or pushed. Tonight, the endings you feared slip into shadow and become gentle. Presence arrives like cool water at your temples, a comfort to soul and skin. Here your breath says, I see you. I'll stay. Let this echo. The loop you thought would haunt you is not a punishment. It is a thread for weaving. Even as it circles back, it brings you to a resting place. No need to wrestle. No need to push the stone all the way to the top of the hill. Here, the hill itself softens, and gravity gives you back to yourself. You release the tight work of holding it all together. Your hands know how to open. Even this is part of the remembering. Sense how the night listens. Every sigh, every wish you thought had nowhere to land is received. Like dew on grass, blessings collect in the silence. There is nothing small or forgotten in this dark. Even your most hidden longing is safe to rest here. Let it soften here. Some part of you still wonders, is it enough? Did you do enough? Have you become what you hoped? Breathe. Let memory be missed. Truth is quieter than regret. And truth is not outside you, not a prize at the end of a race, not a closing statement. It is presence, wrapped around you like a soft sweater. You are enough here, in all your unfinishedness. You are already whole, not in spite of what remains open, but because of it. Let this echo. If you listen very closely, you'll hear it. The sound of a loop closing not with noise, but with rest. Subtle, almost silent, the way a candle knows when to let the flame go. The way water knows when to settle. There is beauty in this stopping, relief in the long exhale. It's safe now. There are no endings you have to force. Cycles complete themselves when you become quiet enough to feel them. What is unfinished tonight can sleep beside you. The world is full of gentle closures, echoed by the body surrendering to the pillow, by air softening around your bones, by time taking off its watch and sitting beside you, unhurried. You don't need to hold it. Nightfall sprinkles silent blessings on your forehead, over your chest, along your tired shoulders. Each one says, you made it through this day. Each one says, nothing left undone can keep you from peace. Even the old aches, the hopes half formed, the truths not yet spoken out loud, they are all gathered in a softer orbit tonight. You are surrounded by the kind of silence that heals, not by erasing you, but by letting you rest your real self against it. Nothing is denied, nothing is forgotten. Blessings are not loud, they are secret and sure, given in the quiet, just like this. Let this echo, beneath the covers, under this sky, your heartbeat is a closing circle. The day travels round and round to find you again. It ends and you remain. You have been both the seeker and the safe place. You have dreamed of abundance and also been the dream. And tonight, wealth is not something to reach for, but something you remember, asleep in your own presence. Wealth as a silk of quiet across your life, richness not measured but breathed in. Identity is no longer a costume to wear or a mask to hold tight, but a warmth that belongs to you always, even in the dark. Let it soften here. The deepest loops do not end with answers. They close with witnessing. You are witnessed here, by the silence, by softness, by something ancient inside you that always knows the way home. The story finishes not by tying up every strand, but by folding you into presence, the simple, sacred act of being found and letting yourself rest. Every ending is only a new rhythm, a new breath carried forward, without pressure, without expectation. Even this is part of the remembering. Your mind may still flicker with questions. That is all right. Let them float like little boats on a sleeping river. Quiet is not emptiness. It is space for all you have been to relax into all you are. Let your jaw unclench. Let your belly go soft. Let the thoughts that insist slip underneath